This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. You're tuned into the TCSF podcast with Big Z. We got a full house today with Stevie-B from the No Water Weekend podcast. We got JC, Dynasty Fantasy Football, for all our football knowledge. And we got Ivan, the terrible from the Tape Never Lies. and we're coming straight from the 606 Media Studios, powered by True Chicago Sports Fans. This is episode 251. We're fired up to dive into everything that makes Chicago great. Remember, 606 Media, we're your ultimate source for all things Chicago. Don't forget to swing by 606media.com and snag your official TCSF podcast t-shirt, hoodie, three-quarter softball shirts. We got Razorbacks. We got all types of stuff on there. Go ahead and check out the different lines out there. We also have the For the Love of Sports merchandise line. A lot of cool stuff on there as well. You can show off your Chicago pride. We also have No Water on the Weekend merch that you can check out now. So definitely check out Steven's and Sean's merch line on there. Again, everything's on 606media.com. Hit the merch button and go ahead and support your boys here. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or the Twitch, what are you supposed to do?
Smash and subscribe. That's
right. Share it. Smash, subscribe, do all those things. Drop 5 stars on the audio. Drop some nice comments on the YouTube. Definitely hit the like button on all those videos, on all those clips that we're going to post tonight. Definitely helps us out on the algorithm. So please do that. If you can't do that, well, you can support us with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm / True Chicago Sports Fans. For as little as 99 cents a month, you can support in a financial way if you can't do the like button stuff. But definitely hook us up. We need to keep the conversation going, and every little quarter, nickel, dime, $5 bill, $20 bill, $100 bill helps. So please go ahead and subscribe and help us out.
I want to thank 606 Media for sending me and Ivan to Detroit this weekend. I also, Big Z, I also want to say, when I say on No Water, I'm like 606 Media where the media never lies. I feel like that's kind of, traction that we'd never really lie on this show about sports. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I coined it. Like when I end No Water, I'm like, hey, 606 Media where the media never lies. So if you ever want to use that.
You didn't pick up the microphones. You didn't. Yeah, I told you guys that you can shoot on your
iPhone. I
iPhone.
recorded a bunch of video and I'm putting it in together.
Beautiful. Can't wait to see all that stuff. And everybody.
Ivan was on me. He goes, "You got to record this. No, go record that."
Ivan's great about content. Ivan's really good.
I wasn't complaining. I'm just saying he was like just telling me go do
great
this,
at
go do that.
directing people on getting content.
He's threatening. Is like, I drove. I could leave you here in Detroit
now, Steven. Do it.
I'll leave you in Detroit.
Do it, motherfucker.
Starting off hot. Oh my goodness. Check out the rest of the 606 Media lineup. We got a podcast with myself, Big Z. We dive deep into fascinating life stories and engaging discussions. Plenty of humor. Definitely check those out. I think there's about 14 episodes out there. Please check those out. I'll be filming a couple more this month. I'm booking stuff tonight. So definitely already have 1 or 2 next week. So we got that going. You also have No Water on the Weekend with Steven and Sean. Last week, Steven went solo dolo and had a guest. Who'd you have on?
So I had Sarah. Her username is Big Juicy Booty 3000. Yeah. So with me and Sarah, me and her are the same kind of person. She also has.
If she looks like you.
No, we're the same type of person. We don't look alike, okay? But anyway, she drinks and has some other curricular activities while she bakes and cooks. So I got to ask a question about that on Friday. And then Saturday, Sean forgot to hit record because we had 2 other guests for that. But the video is uploaded on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, I have to grab the audio.
Yeah, you can download everything from there.
Yeah. So we have that. So we have 2 guests. So there's 3 videos right now on YouTube. It was very fun. It was great to get a different perspective. We actually had 2 guests, and he has a podcast too. So, which has been great. So we're going to try to work our way to get a crossover. But overall, this weekend was content. It's what the bosses upstairs asked for, and I'm trying to deliver.
Right. That's exactly.
So I've been getting clips, I've been editing them. It's what the CEO wants for 606 Media, and I can't disappoint him. I'm already a disappointment, but I try not to disappoint as much.
You already
So.
disappointed your dad. Don't be disappointing me.
What's the difference? You both yell at me the same, so I don't know. I had two dads actually yell at me today. I had Ivan. But no, it's been great. So I'm trying to get more guests rolling and sharing and stuff like that. So it's been great.
That's awesome. Glad that's starting to come along a lot easier for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
We have a new show on the 606 Media family. It's called the DJV Show. It's from the studio to the stage. We're talking about turntables, tracks, and the hottest tales from behind the decks. The DJV Show is taking you backstage, giving you a backstage pass to the world of music production and DJ culture. So this month we are doing lives at Fuego in Logan Square. It's 3534 West Fullerton. I think that's the address of. Yeah, that should be the address. Again, you could look it up, Google it. It's Fuego Logan Square. We're going live every Friday. They have great specials on there, so definitely check us out. You can come join. Sean was there last weekend. He came and joined us while Steven was recording, and we had a good crew of people that showed up. But again, I had a little bit of audio issues at the first 15 minutes that I had to figure out. No idea what was going on, and then I appeared myself on screen, and it fixed everything. I guess that's what it needed. But definitely the DJV Show, check out for that. Yeah, there's going to be some pretty big names being booked for the next couple of months. So every Friday, it's going to go live. If you want to check it out afterwards on YouTube, you can check it out on 606 Media YouTube or on the DJV Show on YouTube as well. So now we've got 4 shows now. What is it, 4, right? The water.
So I think we haven't talked about it, but I think me and Sean are going to record on Saturdays. I think that's easier for you because your show, and then I don't want to overlap like we did last week Friday.
Yeah,
so.
there was a mishap of miscommunication.
Yeah,
it was no big deal. But the other thing was, I mean, the idea is to have you guys come on right after the DJV Show is finished.
Yeah, no, I get you in like the neighborhood thing. I'm trying to get like TikTok stars. I think that's.
Have them come in to Fuego.
Yeah, if they're overseas. The last one was from Utah, State of Mormon. So it's not gonna, unless we're flying people out. But
it's still all good. You can record your live show there, and then your guest on Saturdays, man. More content. Remember, more content.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not worthy.
I'm not worthy.
I'm not worthy. No, I get you.
Oh, boys, it looks like we all had a great weekend. So definitely let's drop it down and let's talk about our Chicago Cubs who just played in Detroit. And the boys, Ivan and Steven, went to check out that. So I'll let you guys take it away because you had a nice road trip up there. What was 6.5 hours in the car together?
No, it was 4.
Like 8 hours. It was like 8.5 hours.
No, Ivan texted me the night before. He goes, "You good?" I was like, "Yeah." And a part of me, I asked him when we're in the car. He's like, a part of you was like, "Nah, we shouldn't go. Like, screw it." But no, I was like, "No, let's go." I committed. So I get in the car. Ivan calls me at 6 or 5:50. He's like, "You ready to go? I'll be there soon." He gets here in like 15 minutes, and I'm jumping out of the shower. And I'm like, I had everything laid out. So I get my stuff. We get in the car. I'm like, we're gonna get breakfast. He goes, we'll wait until we get down. I'm like, okay. I didn't go to sleep till 3:00 in the morning, even though I tried to go to sleep early.
You gave that exact side too. That scoff too. Like,
yeah, I was like, all right, all right. So we go, and we're driving. Once we get past Gary, right? Gary. Me and Ivan start to see things on the road that we start counting and playing a game after. By the time we got to Detroit, we at least had to see 25 dead animals on the road. I kid you not.
Of all sorts.
Of all sorts.
We saw a dead snap. I saw a dead snapping turtle.
Uh-huh.
Was it on the way back or
no? It was on the way there. It was on the way there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that was a fucking turtle. Like,
yeah,
it was just, it was clearly dead, but you could see the shell. And the
From
head was just
deers
like,
to raccoons.
It was crazy.
I think from Indiana we saw a lovable pet somewhere. It was just crazy. We get there, we start recording. The trip there went a lot faster. I think on the way back, because we got hit with rain and we're both tired. But when we got there,
Hey, Cubs tied the game.
oh, there you go.
Ian Happ Homer. Sorry.
Thank God. And I'm glad we talk about him because there's a lot of things that people are saying about him. But no, so we get there. I changed in the shorts. Ivan is getting himself collected. He's already good to go. We stopped, got something to eat at McDonald's, and we ate something small before we got there. We get to the game. We walk in, and me and Ivan had the same idea. What did we say, Ivan, about the stadium when we walked in?
I don't recall.
They have a Ferris wheel and a merry-go-round. This place is huge,
dude. It was like sprawling wise. It's not like so much like heights and like but it was like you could go ahead and walk around. You could walk in. You could see and it did have a Ferris wheel and a merry-go-round. Like, what the fuck? I was just like, what is this? Like, how did you fit this in here? And then you can, like I said, you can walk around like Sox Park and on the upper level too. The only thing I would say, and I had to think about it after the fact in retrospect, the statues need to be put somewhere else. Like
I liked where they were at. The statues of the Lions. They were right on top.
No. I'm talking about ball players. The
ball players.
Yeah. Because the ball players are in what is it, like dead center?
Center right-ish.
Yeah, right center somewhere. And it's just like real tight. You can't really see. Like you gotta look. Like you can't really like stand there and actually see the image. You're kind of like looking like this, like that. Like it's just too close up to where you don't get a good. For me, you don't get a good glimpse at them. They had placards and stuff that were pretty awesome. You get to read the history and stuff about each player.
They had each year that they won the division. They had the 1950 year or whatever. They had memorabilia in glass. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty badass.
And I told Ivan that Little Caesars is like a sponsor of them. I kid you not. Little Caesars pizza never tasted much better there.
Way better there
than here.
Than I've ever had it anywhere. It was
and I'm poor. I eat Little Caesars all the time. And it tasted different.
It was a little itty bitty slice, and it tasted like me and Steven, but that was something I remember. Like we were both like, "Hey, man, like this isn't just regular old Little Caesars.
It was $4.
This is Detroit Little Caesars. It's like they had to put like some extra. I don't know.
It was $4. $4 a slice.
Delicious.
Yeah, I burned my lip because of how hot it was.
Well,
me and him both
You're not supposed to swallow the whole thing in one bite.
Yeah, but overall, our seats were great. There's no awning, so the sun was hitting on us. I burnt my arms. You can't tell, but they were itchy.
Disappeared for a while.
I was underneath the shade because I was like, I'm overheating. This is freaking hot. And then we made buddies. To the couple next to us. They're a little bit older, but they, grew up watching WGN. We talked to them. They're like, "What are you guys drinking?" I'm like, "Oh, Modelo's or whatever." He goes, "You know what? I'll get you guys Modelo's. I'll buy the next round." All right. He said he had a condo in Myrtle Beach. He was staying downtown Detroit. He stayed for the weekend games. I'm like, this guy had some money. So I was like, yeah, whatever. He came back with Miller Lights. He goes, they didn't have any more Modelo's. I was saying, me and Ivan don't care. If the beer's cold, we're drinking it. Like, that's it. So we got a free beer there. We did not get harassed by anyone.
No. Oh, on the way out, I did.
Oh, that's because of you, not because of me.
But it was like very, like I like they were saying shit, like they were talking shit, but they weren't like talking shit for me to hear them. I felt like it was like they were subtly talking shit, but they were up on like balcony area, and I kind of just like glanced up. I had my glasses on, so I was like looking up. So and they were just like talking shit about the Caleb jersey I wore, but like it was just it wasn't anything that like I would have been like, okay, bitch, let's
Get
go,
over here.
Yeah, get over here. Let's go. It was some goofy shit, but I did talk to other people that were like, you got a good coach in Ben Johnson. Like, you guys really got a good one. Like Caleb Williams, like he'll fix Caleb and he'll get him right and stuff like that. And this is from Detroit Lions. I'm clearly assuming, but I'm sure that they're Lions fans. They're 100% like, hey man, you got a good guy.
Yeah, I was wearing my Cubs jersey. Ivan was wearing his Caleb Williams jersey for the Bears, and I was like, okay, like that's totally fine. You know, like I'm all for it. When we
you're a little worried.
I wasn't worried. I was just like, okay, I'm expecting the worst because it's Detroit, and I'm thinking also when we get into Detroit, I'm thinking this downtown's gonna look like scum. Like it's gonna look bad. Like the way I was told, and I watched Detroiters with Tim. Yeah, literally. And Detroiters with Tim Robinson. I'm thinking this place is gonna look like crap. I look around. There's no crime. Everyone's really nice. Like,
we're in like one.
I get where that area is changed. I will say that. I don't know anything outside of that, but we got to see Ford Field, all that stuff. But
what I like is everything's pretty much centralized.
Yeah.
Like you could walk to each state. Like if for whatever reason all three teams were playing, you could literally go to each game if they were at different times during the day.
Yeah.
Like depending on, but I doubt there would ever be 3 home games at once.
No.
You're right. That'd be chaos. But overall, I had the pizza. I had the alcohol was the most like not expensive, but it was pricey. But I mean, the food was reasonably priced. Getting hot dogs, getting any of that was like not a problem, but it was just, the liquor and stuff like that, which was normal. We had good seats. We were upset that they did take an L. I wanted to leave there.
The Steven curse continues.
Oh my God. No, that's a JC rule.
Wait, there's
JC
a curse? Wait a minute.
No, it's not true.
Whoa!
He's a mush.
You guys sent me out here with somebody who's cursed.
He's not cursed. He's just a
mush. No, Steven can tell you how many games he's gone to and how many have they won.
I'm 5-3 when I'm at Wrigley now. I'm above 500 now.
This year?
Yes.
This year?
Yes. Now, if I want to add it traveling, if I want to add it to my record, I'm 5-4. Okay, but I'm above 500. Okay, so it's not a curse. I'm not the victim.
Dude.
Like I said, it's not a curse. It's just you're a
I'm gonna
mush.
go take a shower.
Like for whatever reason,
you haven't since yesterday. Oh yeah, no, JC, I go to the games that Shota Imanaga's not pitching apparently because when he's there they win. I go when Ben Brown and
I gotta firebomb the car tonight. Like it's gotta be burnt.
No, you just need some sage and some incense, and just
do it your local priest.
I gotta go find a witch doctor.
you got to go to the south side and get the Pope, and have him bless your vehicle.
Oh, apparently, yeah.
That's right. Let's go talk.
Yeah, get the Pope involved. That once we get to the White Sox talk, I have a couple of things, but anyway,
he's cursed. He's cursed. Help.
The Antichrist. Apparently, I am.
Turn him into a White Sox fan.
No. But no.
Well, we told people like straight. We're like, and I'll tell you this, Jose, straight. Like, I like Sox Park. I do. I don't really hate. I can't hate on the park. I like it. Would I like a difference? Like, would it be cool to have them somewhere else? Yeah, but is the park a piece of shit?
No,
not really. This park's better.
I can agree with you. Yeah, I've been to multiple ballparks.
Yeah,
and a lot of them are better than ones you have. Yeah, like it's like when you go to Boston. I don't know who's been to Fenway, right? I've been to Fenway. You go to Fenway, and then you go back to Wrigley. You're like, Fenway's fucking really cool. It's a lot cooler.
It is cool. I like Fenway. I've been there. I love the atmosphere. I like the fans' atmosphere because they're how passionate they are, and which is great. And,
yes.
But also with Detroit too, like passionate fans, really into the game. I get all that. But with Detroit, like had multiple entertainers. They had a magician. They had a juggler. Like they keep everyone entertained. Like even the kids, like put them in a Ferris wheel, the merry-go-round. You know, like
bananas game. Like what are we? Magicians?
Oh, that's too entertainment.
Don't go dirt on their name, bro. They just had 141,000 or something in a stadium. Like
I know they did like 74,000.
Yeah, I get it that it's great. It's just not baseball to me, but that's a different conversation. But
it's a Globetrotters of baseball.
Right. Yeah. And how many Globetrotters games have all of us gone to?
I've been to like 4 or 5.
I don't think I've ever been to a Globetrotters.
Me either. Because I know who's gonna win.
The Globetrotters.
Exactly.
Well,
I go see the Generals all the time, and they always lose.
I want to see the Generals. I'm a big Generals fan.
Interesting to go see. We took my niece when she was younger. I think she was probably like 8 or 10 years old. And she was wanting to play basketball, and we were like, well, the Globetrotters are coming to town, so we took my little niece. It was a good time. It's an entertainment. It's a show. It's like going to the circus.
We have a basketball player that could probably use their help in coaching her and how to make some shots. So
yeah, absolutely, we do.
Yeah. All right, so you guys went out there. You took the L on Sunday. They did win one game out of the 3. It wasn't against Scuba, but 1 out of 3. How are you guys feeling as Cub fans going against one of the best teams in baseball? The White Sox split against them. Just saying.
We didn't get 4 games. Sorry, we didn't get 4 games. Jose.
Yeah, I didn't make the schedule. We got to play them all. We got to play them a lot more. So
I will say this, and Ivan will back me up because Ivan brought this up, and it was his point. Third base coach has got to understand when to send the runner home and to third base, because 2 of the times we got called out for third base and home.
Yep.
Well, you didn't have much.
And the other game prior, Pete Crow Armstrong got called out. Was it Pete? Yeah, it was Pete at the plate. Excuse me, at the call.
He got gunned down. It was like a 1 bounce, 1 hopper right to the catcher, and he tagged him right there. Yeah, I saw the clip of that.
Yeah, and to the point, they're out. Like it felt like the best 2 teams in baseball. Like the Cubs are still in it. Like they were like. It was not as if this was a blowout, even if they lost 4-0, even though they lost that first game. They were in both of those ball games. They could have took that first game against probably the best pitcher in the league right now, maybe, if not top 3, top 5. But this team doesn't seem to have like they lost the series, but they seem to find a way. Like it just, to me, they seemed that they were taking good pitches after a little bit. Flannery, he kind of knows the Cubs a little bit more, maybe, not as much Tucker, but he knows them from pitching with the Cardinals. We were talking about that.
Yep.
So I could see him maybe having a good game in a different, situation. But you got to give them credit. They made plays when they had to make plays. Like hit shots to the gaps, shots to the corners. Their outfield made plays when they had to throw the ball. Make perfect throws. They made perfect throws. Like there's
Javi Baez was one of the reasons why they also got out at first. It looked like it was going to be a great easy single. Nope, throws it. And
I cheered Javi every time.
Same.
We both did. We both cheered Javi every time.
So did and there was a chance to win. We had people on second and third, and it just didn't work out. And strikeouts. And Sunday, I don't know how many strikeouts. I think it was 9 strikeouts. And if you're missing the ball, but Nico Horner right off the bat, called out the umps, because the umpire for this whole series was an issue. And I hate saying to blame the umps, because it's not all the time that we get to say the umpires are the issue. If you looked at Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the box was a lot bigger. So Nico on Sunday, and finally he said, he finally said something.
It's a different umpire every game.
Right. And that's why I say every game is different. But this apparently he got kicked out, and because all he said was, "Are you having a bad day?" And he got the ejected because of that.
He got rung up right away. And then I loved how your coach went out there running, and he's like, "What did you say?" He's like, "I just told him he just had a bad day and he threw me out." Are you kidding me? You threw him out because of that? And I think it's the word you. You can't direct anything. You can say
Right.
you can say that's a bad call. You can't say directly you or your or anything like that. Either way, the guy's softer than Charmin. He should have a little bit thicker skin, especially when
I have thinner toilet paper than that guy. Okay.
Thicker, you mean?
yeah.
No, I have thin because the pipes here in this building will clog up if I use anything thicker.
Yes,
I
he
kid you not.
Scott's one ply, half ply.
Half ply, or even like it's partnered with Scotch tissue paper, like when you tape something up, because that falls apart too. So a little combination of both. But overall, I think this this team is fighting. Look, they're playing with the Phillies, and you should run with the Phillies because they lost to the Pirates and got swept.
I think they've lost 9 of the last 10 or something like that. So you want to continue that streak right now.
Continue that streak, and I dislike Philly fans. I like the franchise. I dislike Philly fans. There's one fan that streams in particular, and I've said it on the one that we can only keep the Cubs out your mouth, because the fact that it's like anytime he says something and he makes a clip, that player does something good. So I'm like, if you want the Cubs not to do well, don't say their names. And one of them, he's like, Suzuki. I never even heard that guy until this year. And I'm like, okay.
You're an idiot and don't know baseball. That's
exactly. Why. So, I get. I don't like the fans, or maybe it's streamers. I don't know, because they want the clip.
He's doing it for clickbait.
They want the clip.
They got Imanaga progressing rehab start, so you got that. Porter Hodge is rehabbing as well. So you got some guys that should be coming back at the end of the month to help you. Trades. Now this has been rumorville all day. Excuse me, all day today, and a couple of things. You're looking at Chris Sale, which Israel posted up there as well. Chris Sale is on the Braves, and the Braves are like 8 games under 500. Doesn't look like they'll be going anywhere. So you're gonna have to trade a top tier prospect for Chris Sale. He just won the Cy Young Award. Agreed.
I'm okay. I love Chris Sale. I liked it when he was with Boston.
Can you imagine bringing him back to Chicago as a Cub?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then we got the series with the White Sox coming up. Like, get that trade done soon.
We should buy those socks.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talk about week after week. We talk week after week about how we have tons of outfield prospects that, we have a log jam in the outfield. Like, get rid of some of those guys. Yeah, and bring in Chris Sale. That would be way more beneficial than having some of these guys in the minors that, like, we can't even bring them up because we have too many guys in the outfield as it is.
Yeah, I agree with you, JC, on that one. And Chapman, we were talked about last week again. Chapman got injured against the Yankees series. So now it's like, now we have to regroup.
I would still trade for him. I know you can't technically. They can say he's off the injured list, and then you can still make the trade for him. But definitely get Chapman. That dude is a monster in his workouts and his regimen. He is super shredded, and he's motivated. So you bring him back.
Yeah, and it's not Joe Madden he's coming back to, which might win him over, because I know he wasn't a big fan.
Yeah.
But I will say I'm all for it, but I know the injury. I can't remember what injury it is because he got it with the Yankees this past weekend. But I would love it to have him come back. I know we have a closer right now, but you fill him, put him 8th, put Presley at 7. You got the guys who are pitching right now. Ben Brown pitched amazing on Saturday.
He's been better. He was there when me and Ivan went too. He pitched that day.
Yeah, and he pitched on Saturday against Detroit and got the win. So it's kind of like, okay, he's going. If you get these guys, they're not aces, and maybe they could be, but they haven't proven themselves to be aces. But they're working their way up to give us 6 innings, 7 innings, and they're not giving up runs. And that's the thing that I think this team of pitching and of people who are in the bullpen feel a little bit more comfortable because offense could get them there. They just don't want to blow it.
You have the best offense in MLB. And it's carrying you over, even though your pitching hasn't been great on certain days. Right. So you kind of have that, all right, our pitching's not there today, but our hitting should be. And not this past series against Detroit.
Right.
But otherwise, you have had the offense carry you, and you don't have to worry so much about the bullpen blowing games as we did in April. right? And in May, early May, that happened a lot too, right? So now you have the offense that's been clicking, and that's not an issue. There's a couple more trades, ideas. I would say look at Baltimore. They're struggling. Look at the right-handed pitcher, Felix Bautista. He's coming off an injury, but he's only.
I want him. Come the Cubs.
He is. Yeah, he's a definitely stud. His salary is $1 million, and then he has arbitration after that, so you can keep him for a little bit longer.
Easy. I'll even give him part of the $1 million, and not a whole lot, maybe like $10. But I want him.
Yeah,
I want him from Baltimore.
Arizona, Shelby Miller, a good pitcher. He's got a 1.75 ERA over 25.2 innings, so you put him in the bullpen. 1 year, $1 million contract again. Cheap buy.
Yeah.
You definitely a good upside. You have Colorado.
Yeah, Israel. Yeah, he is.
Jake Bird, 1.4 ERA with 45 strikeouts over 36 innings and 27 appearances. That's the guy you need in your bullpen right now.
Yep. And everyone you're saying, it's like, okay, Jed, pull the trigger. It's your last year, and you're winning.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely off the wall. Yeah. Pull
the trigger. I'm at the point where it's like, okay, get us, like, if we lose in the second round of the playoffs, at least we won the first round. I want to see a climb up. I don't want to get out the first round. I want to see the climb up. I mean, we have the talent. Let's get some more bullpen, because I feel like Matt Shaw on third base is playing pretty well since he came back from the minors.
Yeah,
his arm. Yeah, his arm from throwing it from third base to first has been amazing. Defensive plays, his hitting has also been improved. Yeah, you might go 0-3 in one game, but it's him figuring out, and he has his games. Everyone does here too. So it's not Suzuki or Pico Armstrong, but I think this team is actually
a super young player, and I mean, for the fact that he's only been up for a short period of time,
right?
He's gonna go through his stretches where he's gonna have to adjust and figure it out. But I mean, come trade deadline, I think we need to focus on pitching. The offense of the team and the defense of the team has been fine on the field. As far as I'm concerned, like I said, I don't really see. I know third base was an issue at the beginning of the year, but I don't really see an area where the Cubs are lacking on the field per se. So to me, like, the biggest thing is, like, if we want to go somewhere in the playoffs, like, we need to really look at this trade deadline and focus on pitching. Can we upgrade at third base? Potentially. But like I said, I don't foresee that happening. Like I said, if I'm moving prospects, I'm moving them for pitching.
Are you being willing to trade, a Cade Horton or whoever else you got down there right now?
Not Cade Horton. Cade Horton stays. You trade anybody else but that dude.
Like I said, I mean, you got who is it? Ballesteros. You got Alcantara. You got, I mean, plenty. Like I said, you got outfielders for days in our, top 10 prospects. Trade 3 of them. I don't care. It's one of those, like I said, with Suzuki, Happ, Pete Crow, and Tucker, and all these other guys, like, they'll never see the field for the next 3-4 years anyway.
Well, hold on. And here's where I agree with you, but the big question is: are we going to get a deal done with PCA, or are we going to get a deal with Tucker?
You don't need to. You don't need to do PCA right now. You don't need to.
He's looking for an extension. And
you can look all you want. Your contract's your contract. This isn't the NBA when you say, I want to trade. Doesn't work like that, kid.
Tucker's a value.
Tucker's very much something that needs to be done right after the trade deadline.
Okay, so you need to make room for also who, like we talked about a couple weeks ago. Who would you have your franchise player be? That's where PCA is doing all this, because it's like he's face of franchise. I get that, but Tucker, him being in the clubhouse, has definitely made a difference.
Oh yeah,
in this Cubs team. I if you tell me different, I don't believe it, because you had Yankees. Trying to blank here. I was drinking with Sean today. Bellinger.
Bellinger?
Yeah, you had Bellinger, and he's a great player. but there's not that motivation in the
He's very
clubhouse as much.
streaky. He's so streaky.
Right. So I'm just saying there's a difference when you have someone in the clubhouse that is a game changer that brings a different value. And also when everyone's doing well, everyone wants to be better. You know, that's something the White Sox never understand, but you
Wow,
but,
shots fired.
always. Because I'm a hater. I love hating. But no, I'm just saying you have this team and it's everyone's stepping up. And you know, we have a new bromance. It's Suzuki and PCA. So I love it.
Yeah, of course you love that. Is that your favorite?
It's like Brizzo, but it's like
no, the way they greet each other.
Yep.
With high fives.
Council just got tossed
again.
Yep.
Ew.
Guys out of the fucking baseline.
Who got tossed?
Council.
Oh.
Just got tossed again. Back-to-back games.
Oh, that means he's fighting for the players.
Show me some passion, Greg.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. Passion.
This is what you wanted, right? You wanted him to be fired up and some passion. He's
do it all day. All day.
Fight for your guys.
Yeah. But overall, I think this team is in the right direction. Yeah, we lost the series. Okay, we're not perfect, but when it counts, that's when we need to be perfect. So I don't know. I had a great time. I had a great trip. Me and Ivan were singing Frank Sinatra, Barry Manilow, any other rock band. Jersey Boys was one of them. What else did you have planned? Because I have no control. It was all you.
Damn,
oh, yeah.
You were the passenger and you had no rights to the radio?
Nothing. I was on his time, his moment. He's like, you got to take a piss now or I'm leaving.
Ivan's already moving the car. The door's open. Hurry up.
I'm coming. But no, it was a great time. I had fun with Ivan. He drove both there and back. And I asked him all the times, do you want me to drive? He goes, no. I got it. Okay.
Ivan's a beast.
Don't ask me twice. I would ask him. And I give him a 500 energy shot, and he's like, "This is why I don't drink this stuff. I feel jittery."
I did not like it.
All right, before we take a commercial break, I want everybody to give me their Cubs possible all-star selections.
Okay.
Go ahead, Steven.
PCA number 1. I see him in there. I also see Tucker being in there, but I've also heard that. Oh. See, he's excited. Tucker. I would like to see him in there. I know Suzuki should be in the second round, at least in the backups, because he is a hitter. See, that's the thing. I
don't think he's going to get it.
I know he's not, but he is considered to be part of it. I'm not saying he deserves it, but he should be looked at to get it because
it's going to be a quick look, brother. Because look who's
why? Because of who he is.
You got Shohei, who's your DH, and then
Shohei.
He's already put in stone. He's going to be the DH for the NL, and then your alternate or your non-starter is going to be Schwarber. Because he's already got 20 home runs.
Oh yeah, he got him by a hair.
Stop ruining the game for me. I will. I'm in the moment.
I agree. PCA and Tucker. JC,
yeah,
do you?
I agree with that.
Do you have anything else?
That's pretty much it. I don't see
PCA Tucker. Yeah. I wish I could say Shota. But with Shota's injuries, I don't think that he'll even qualify at this point. I mean, he was doing really well at the beginning of the year, and I think he, maybe he's an alternate backup, like we were talking about with Suzuki. But it's hard with the injury that he's basically missed like a month and a half now. That it's hard when you're not out there producing to earn the votes. Other than that, I mean,
there's no pitcher that's gonna make it. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No. But I agree. Like, there's none. No.
But I'm sitting there going, I'm thinking, does Hap deserve it? I don't think so.
Swanson, no, he's been out. No.
and really like that's
Shaw,
it. Like, so
no.
it's Tucker and P. Crow.
I could say Carson Kelly he's having a great catch here, but he's not
He didn't qualify. He doesn't have enough games.
right. I'm saying, but he's proven to play great, but he's not qualified. But he's played well. But there's other guys out there that are a little bit better.
Ivan, do you have anybody else that you would like to see at the All-Star game besides PCA and Tucker?
No, I think like I said, PCA, Tucker, and Showdown would be the three.
Yeah, that's the dream.
I would say those three should go to the All-Star game.
Mhm.
Anybody else I think is kind of a stretch. Not saying that they haven't been playing well, but I think but All-Star well? Are they playing All-Star well? I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody else that has that All-Star well type of a vibe to me. I think it's the three outfielders, and yeah. No, if there were going to be a pitcher, Matthew Boyd would be an All-Star.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a quick break, and on the flip side of the break, we'll talk a little bit of White Sox. They had a lot of news besides winning the series. There's some news that we'll talk about. We'll talk about we got the Chicago Fire, who also made some news, also winning this weekend, and we'll wrap up with the Sky. Just discuss that stuff that's been happening. So we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey there, Chicago enthusiasts. Are you ready to take your fandom to the next level? The True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast has got you covered with some serious cool merch that screams Chicago pride. From cozy sweaters to trendy tank tops, we got it all. Show off your love for the city with our iconic red, white, and blue logo, or stand out with our exclusive collection for the love of sports. Whether you're lounging at home, breaking a sweat at the gym, or cheering on your team at a game, our gear is a must-have for all you diehard Chicago sports fans out there. Don't hesitate. Visit bonfire.com/store/606-media-store/. Or simply just click the link in the description and snag your gear ASAP. Get ready to make some noise, show your pride, and embrace the Chicago spirit with True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast merch. Designed for you, the ultimate fan, for the love of sports. Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to Nowhere on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Nowhere on the Weekend.
Honey boy, welcome back to the TCSF podcast with Big Z in the house. We got Ian from the Tape Never Lies. We got JC Dynasty Fantasy Football, and we got Stevie-B from the No Water in the Weekend podcast. And it's time to talk a little bit of my team. This one right here, the White Sox.
Can I say something really quick before you start?
Hold on. I gotta play 2-3 seconds of this.
Okay.
What? All right.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Steve. Before I go talk about
I like to know, 7-inning stretch is a big deal. And, when you have guests or the first pitch out, that's cool that the Cubs have. And even at Detroit, they had a couple celebrities. It's sad that you have to have a penguin throughout the first pitch on Sunday. You have to have an animal because no celebrity wants to go to a great field to throw out the first pitch. At the 7-inning stretch, was he going quack, 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 or whatever a penguin sound makes? Did he sing the 7-inning stretch song for you guys? Like, oh, my God.
You put a lot of thought into this. Actually, Sunday was Southpaw's birthday, so he threw out the first pitch.
Wow, another person that's not a celebrity and doesn't talk. But he had the pitch.
Guess who wasn't invited to that one? The guy with no pants from the north side was not invited. Every other mascot.
Why would he go? I wouldn't want him to go.
Yeah, we didn't want him there anyways. Yeah,
that's a birthday I would not. It's like getting invited to a bully's house. Why would you go?
No service on that. Oh my goodness, you're
invited to a bully's house.
All right,
we're the
White
bullies.
Sox took care of business and took that series from the Royals. Took 3 out of 4. They should have won that last game too, but oh well, we'll take that. It's a series win. That's three wins in the win column. Yeah, Steven, 3 more wins. So
I'm not worried. I'm definitely not worried. I'm not worried.
I see you're not worried. It's okay.
No,
it's okay. You understand as a Cub fan. you have hope, right? So let me have my little hope here.
Okay, that's your modern thing now.
I'll say this. I'll say this about the Sox.
What's up, Crooked?
It's not last year, and I know that sounds horrible but to think where you were last year to now, there is some glimpses, right? Not all these guys are going to be on the team, if any, but you have a team that you can go ahead and say, hey, maybe a Mydroth or maybe one of the pitchers stand and being an anchor, to the next team. But I just don't see them being as. I don't think they're the Rockies. They're really bad, but they're definitely not the Rockies.
I wish they were the Rockies.
I would say this. It's definitely about your manager. I think Will Venable has done a good fucking job with a very, very bad team, and he's gotten them to play. I mean, they took it to the Tigers, right? You see a team like Pittsburgh sweeping a team like Philadelphia. Like, the Sox can have these moments, but are they ready to win like next year? I wouldn't say so at all.
No,
it's just
no. I would not say next year. I would never say next year. No, I would
not
say
until
about
2030.
It might be 2030 and actually
or 2050. I won't be around, but
you won't be around.
I don't know. Yeah.
You got guys like Chase Mydroff, who is to me right now, he's been the MVP, the stud, the infusion of youth that came in and literally gave life to this team. You got guys like Shane Smith, who's been pitching very well. Miguel Vargas, who's fixed his swing by moving up his hands. Lou Bob is a whole different bag of trash. I don't want to get into. Tim Elko, after being sent down, comes back up and hits a home run. Sean Burke, another good story. Kyle Teal was at that trade for the crotch rocket. Davis Martin has been pitching his butt off. Edward Carroll, another catcher that's doing well. I mean, we've got some pieces that are coming together. Do we have some veterans here and there? I think they keep these veterans to show the young guys how to be a major leaguer, like Benintendi, Mike Talkman, Michael Taylor, Joshua Palacios, Bryce Wilson. You're talking about all these guys who are veterans that have been there for a while. Did the Cubs win or something?
No, we got out the inning. It's extra innings now.
You've got, you know what, and I was not a fan of Chris Getz, but he's been moving and making moves and changing the organization a lot better than I thought he would be. And, the jury was out, picking up Adrian Hauser, and he comes in after being cut, and he's had 2 or 3 great starts. They just got some guy from the Milwaukee Brewers. He wasn't even there at press time on Sunday. He took an Uber from Milwaukee and got to the clubhouse in time for the game and then pitched.
How expensive was that? I want to know.
I'm pretty sure that, I can't even say that. Pretty sure. It came out of his own pocket probably. But yeah.
Oh, that's sad. But yeah.
I hope the White Sox pay for that.
I hope so.
If he's playing,
he's a Major League Baseball player.
He decided to take an Uber. He's fine. Like, you don't just decide to take a fucking Uber if you don't have money to take the fucking Uber.
I went to Detroit with you, and I had
one game. What he makes in one game,
and I made you pay by the mile.
Concept Enterprise.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, but no.
Yeah, so I mean, the White Sox are going to be fine. They're bringing up one of the AA pitchers that has been doing very well. You're going to see a lot of the influx of the young guys coming up. I'm telling you, it's making a big difference because these kids are hungry. They've played together for such a long time, a couple of years. So far, 2-3 years, they won the Barons won their championship last year. So they definitely have the talent that's coming up together, and they're bringing up nice and slowly, and they're staggering them.
You know what they're doing? They're doing what the Cubs did in 2014, 15, and 16. They're bringing up the players that play all together. They're just copying us, big brother. I get it. You want to be like us, and it's okay. If you just admit it, it's fine.
I don't condone this.
What do you mean copying? You literally stole the guy from Boston. So who is copying who?
This is
John Lester. Is that who you're talking about?
No, you're GM. You literally stole the GM from Boston.
Yeah, to win. We didn't just hire someone.
Isn't that a copycat?
We hired him.
No, we hired him.
Yeah.
You hire within. Okay.
You
If you're a fry cook, you could be a general manager or a third base coach if you wanted to.
Oh my goodness. Anyways.
Ivan's got my bet. Well, no, not always, but
not always.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We got some other White Sox news. Justin Ishbia. Justin Ishbia is going to become the controlling owner of the White Sox. This was announced
eventually.
Yeah. So what this looks like, and I have the press release up here. The Chicago White Sox announced that Jerry Reinsdorf and Justin Ishbia have reached a long-term investment agreement that establishes a framework for it to obtain a future controlling interest in the White Sox. As part of the agreement, Ishbia will make capital infusions into the White Sox as a limited partner in 25 and 26 that will be used to pay down existing debt and support ongoing team operations. The agreement provides that from 2029 to 2033, the Reinsdorfs have the option to sell controlling interest to Ishbia. After the 2034 season, Ishbia will have the option to acquire the controlling interest. In the event of such future transaction, all limited partners of the White Sox have the opportunity to sell to Ishbia at that time. In addition to Ishbia, his brother Matt and his father Jeff also being significant investors, there's no assurance that any such future transaction will occur, and in no event will such a transaction take place before 2029. So the only way this happens before 2029 is if the old man dies. So when the old man dies, his directive is sell his stuff to the Ishbias. They take over, and for real, it's great news. I really think it's finally great news. Hold your horses. You had 40 minutes of Cubs talk. Hold your horses there. Definitely is a cool thing that now we have a actual real owner that will put money into the product. If you saw, he did spend with the Phoenix Suns. He owns. He's part owner of the Nashville soccer team as well. I think he's part owner of a WNBA team too. Couple other notes on this. It's funny how this news came out right after the Chicago Fire announced that they're building a new stadium at the 78, the land that Jerry wanted to build his new ballpark, and played a role in the announcement. This is one day after the Fire later put a cool ass video, and they put a chair in the middle of the 78, said they got dibs. Fantastic marketing. Way to go, Chicago Fire. That was really, really cool. Literally, they called dibs on that. Now, are they going to use the entire whatever amount of acres? No. I think they only use, I believe it's 9 acres of the whatever it is to build their stuff. So there's still an opportunity to have the White Sox at the 78. Here's your other thing. The White Sox I think their lease goes up in 2029, I believe, or maybe 2030. No, 2029, I believe, or 2032. One of those two, their lease comes up. So, can we say that? Let's say the old man passes away. The HB is like, no, we'll partner with the other billionaire, and we'll put the park right next to their park. You'll have infrastructure as far as transportation is already done. Yes, the brown, orange, and red line that goes right there. You have the Roosevelt. You have water taxis. There's going to be some kind of parking structure. It can be done, and it would be a cool thing to have those two stadiums next to each other. So, am I happy about the HBS? 100%. I can't wait till they're in control because they will spend some money. They probably will move out of US Cellular. They will move out of the former Comiskey Park because they want to own their own stadium. You do not want to be leasing it, and then it's just going to cost you more money. Go ahead, Steven. What did you have to say?
So the guy who's owns and building the new Chicago Fire Stadium said it was only be for soccer. It's always going to be for.
Yes.
So,
but there's enough room.
Well, hold on.
Uh-huh.
With Detroit, they had a lot of parking. That's something that was awesome about. They had parking buildings, parking garages, parking everything. Don't give it to the White Sox. Put parking garages. Put parking stuff around.
I would say if the Sox build at least one parking garage, it would fucking be it would be easier for fans, way easier for fans. Instead of parking like a couple blocks away just to save a buck or whatever, you might be able to just fit it in, and then hopefully you could cut some deals for certain games.
Yeah, and another thing is, okay, Phoenix, the owner, Ispiash. Am I saying it correctly?
Ispia.
Okay, sorry, I don't mean. I'm gonna just say Phoenix owner. He got Kevin Durant. He got all these superstars to pay money to. Cool. Well, did they go to the finals? No. So you could have the White Sox and have all these players that you want and still not go to the playoffs. So you know what? That's cool. You could do that. Have that. I'm not threatened. I'm not scared. A new owner's coming in, and you know what? It is what it is. Get the stars, pay the money, but don't go to the finals or don't go into the playoffs. You got Kevin Durant, and the only thing and then also he lowers the food prices, which what Jerry does when it comes to the ballparks, lowers the food and beer. So that's the thing that they get along with. So hey, superstars. Lower the food, don't go to the finals. So that's fine with me.
You can't. First of all, you can't blame them for going for it.
I'm not upset, but hey, that's what they do, and that's okay, and I'm okay. It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother you?
No, I'm just stating the obvious, which in my point of view, and I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it feels like.
I don't know what your point is.
My point is, you got this guy who pays money to Kevin Durant, has superstars, and they want to leave because they're not winning and they're not happy.
Kevin Durant's done that everywhere.
What does that have to do with the owner? What is Kevin Durant's decisions?
You get someone to go. You get famous, popular names, and that's what the White Sox done. Has gotten the end of the career of everyone. But
that wasn't at
the end of his career.
The Cubs did that for a long time too. Soriano,
Garcia, and you're right. And then we got someone different, and then it's a different situation. But I'm just saying, you're getting the same situation, a little bit similar. I'm not saying it's the same, but it seems like it's a similar thing. Okay, so you're getting the same person that wants to lower food. Jerry does. You want to pay the end of the career of people to get
Jerry
on
does
the
not
team.
lower the food. Did you have one promotional day?
Let's be honest. The food's cheaper and less expensive at guarantee rate than it is at Wrigley.
Yeah.
That's my point. Is. So that goes with what the owner does. That's a similar common ability. And then you want to pay the stars to get them to come. I'm just saying it seems the similar situation, but
I highly doubt that's the issue.
I'm just saying that's how I see it. I'm an outside viewer, but hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll admit it. But it seems like that's what it looks like.
Okay.
So
I just don't get
because I'm right. You guys are speechless, and JC's also looking at football stuff right now.
I am honestly.
See?
I don't know where you're going with this because it's like okay, like
no one knows where you're going with this.
Oh my God! Read between the lines.
If the White Sox get a new owner, like I just see it as a better thing than what they have going on right now.
Correct.
Yes. Okay. Maybe he went out and got KD for, the team, but at least he's trying to improve the product where the White Sox this offseason didn't do shit. They basically said like, yo, we're going to roll with nothing. And we're going to go into like basically the next couple drafts, try to pick up more prospects. And we'll see you 10 years from now with, maybe a product that can be worth something. Like that's what the Reinsdorfs are basically like, the guy's on the way out, let's be honest. But, all he's doing is cashing a check until he's 6 feet under. That's how I see it right now, is because it's one of those where like, I don't see at his age, like I don't see him caring that, we're going to win another World Series. I don't see it.
No, as much as he talks about the Brooklyn Dodgers and this and that. Hey, man, that was 100 years ago. Like that does
It
not
broke
apply
his
to
heart.
Jason.
Yeah, it's a stupid story, and I agree with you guys on that. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying this how I look at it, and yes, I am biased because I dislike, I
The
don't
White
dislike the players. I just dislike them in general, the organization, not players. But that's just me.
All right.
All right.
Anyway.
Steven's rant. I want
How
to
do we feel
show.
about the Rockies possibly, beating your guys' horrible win record?
I can't wait for it. Please, thank you very much. Keep losing. Yeah. Before we jump off that, I wanted to show. This is the rendering.
It's
of the,
beautiful.
yeah, definitely. If they, once that's built, I will definitely be moving, getting my season tickets back from the Chicago Fire. Definitely.
If it's too late, you already lost your privilege. Just kidding.
No. I mean, this looks beautiful. Like literally, you'll be able to, take a boat taxi there.
Where do you see White Sox stuff at? Where's the part that you were saying?
This is only like 1/3 of the land, man. They still got like another 70 acres that they can use.
Is that why it's called 74th or 73?
78, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
It'd be too congested over there, So
to me, like it won't be too congested for like a soccer match.
20,000,
unless
right.
like there's a really famous star coming in, like Messi or somebody
Right,
like that.
Right. When they had Messi here at Soldier Field, I think they set their own personal attendance record of like 68,000 or 63,000. That's the most they've ever had to watch a Fire game. But that's because of Messi, right? So usually their attendance is about 21 to 22,000 per game, and I think this seats 22,000 if I remember correctly.
Okay, so I expected it to be like if you go to Europe, how big it is, because I was also talking to Ivan about it. I'm like, I wasn't sure how big the following for soccer is in Chicago. I know there's following, but I didn't know how many seats they fill or how much it is to go.
They had putting money in product. Go ahead, Jason.
They were talking like 23,000 to 25,000 seats. It wasn't terribly much.
Yeah, so you're looking at, I think when they were in Bridgeview, I think it's set maybe 11.5. I can't remember what the number was, but it wouldn't be jam packed unless it was like a major game or one of the tournaments that they were in. The U.S. Cup or no, the President's Cup, one of those cups what they're in, so they would always win that cup. Those games were jam packed, but definitely unless like a big time player or big time team was gonna play them, they would usually move those games over to Soldier Field. When they played what team is that with Wayne Rooney and England, whatever that team. Yeah, that was at Soldier Field. But again, 22,000. It's going to be rocking in there. As soccer's a growing sport in the United States, and especially here now that there's a couple of homegrown kids that are playing on the team. They've been doing a lot better in the last couple games. So definitely a cool thing.
I'd love to go to a soccer game there. I think it would be awesome to go and check it out.
Definitely awesome. Just to close out the Fire thing, it's a 9-acre stadium site, so there's going to be a lot of extra land to definitely make. If he buys the whole land, then he can.
Let's go.
He can lease it. So
PCA baby. 0 for 4 got a double, and he's going like this and doing this. That's my MVP, baby.
That's your MVP.
Tucker scored. Yeah. But I'm sorry, I interrupted.
You're good.
This is live right now. After going and losing a series, the first game counts because apparently Sorry.
No, you're all good. We covered White Sox. We covered Fire. I'm really excited that there's another billionaire owner who's he's going to fit the bill for the stadium and for the land.
Do you feel
itself.
Do you like that he's flipping the bill? Yes or no?
Yeah, you should.
Absolutely. I agree. JC, what do you feel like?
About that, he's footing the bill?
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. I'm sorry. Like
Yes.
today's day and age, like you are billionaires. It should not be up to the taxpayers to like if we need to subsidize a small portion for like infrastructure, roads,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
stuff
going
like
to tell you.
you know,
It's going to be
sewers,
450 million. Yeah, that's
you
going
know,
to cost you
something like
450.
that. I'm sorry, but I'm not even paying 450.
I mean, take
Like,
out the
to
teachers
me-
association. I'm just kidding. I was saying,
Bro.
I'm
I'll be teaching till I'm 90.
I'm joking.
The
I'm just saying it
taxpayers
as a joke.
should never be on the hook for like let's give it a flat fee of like taxpayers should never be on the hook for more than $100 million for any project of a private nature. You know what I mean? If it's not a public land, a public park, a public something for the people, then we should never have to be on the hook for anything more than X amount of dollars.
I agree.
50 million, 100 million, whatever that rule or law passes, like that's what it is. To me, like if you are a private team, the Bears, the Cubs, the Sox, the whoever, it should not be up to the public who already pays you ticket fees, concessions,
Convenience fees for online. Yeah.
like let's not even go into like ticket fees. All right.
Yeah.
That's I was talking to some people because I bought some concert tickets not that long ago to see the Who at the United Center.
Mhm.
It was like $100 a ticket in service fees.
Yep.
What service? Because you provided a website. Like, what am I paying you $100 for? You didn't do
Yeah,
shit.
Ticketmaster's robbing people. Yep.
Right. And that's the issue with convenience fee, also with movie theater prices and convenience. Yeah. All these fees.
Not only that, like I feel like, first off, I'm against, big government anyway, but there needs to be a law passed where like, because Ticketmaster's ticket prices are getting out of control as well. I looked up like when single game tickets went on sale for the Bears, it was literally like 328 row 20, like where you are at the top of the bowl and the tickets were $300 a piece. And I was like,
You should take at least $100 off because you got to turn on the lights for them.
Hell yeah. You got to turn off the bulbs. I've been up there. It sucks.
I mean, like I said, $300 of tickets for nosebleeds that literally like, you got those planes coming off the lake. I mean, they're giving you a haircut as they're coming in,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not paying $300 for that, especially in December.
Oh yeah. It's cold as hell.
Yeah. I won't go nothing past October for a game. I'm good.
Yeah.
JC, is there any Bears news or you want to move on to your favorite women's basketball team?
Let's do a quick little Bears news. Obviously we are in that part of the season where we got some OTAs and some things going on. Ben Johnson has basically come out and said, like, you want your spot, you need to earn it. And that's something that I appreciate as a fan, that that these players that think, oh, I'm a superstar, I'm this, that, whatever. No. You're going to go out and you're going to earn it just like everybody else. Nobody's spot is guaranteed. And like I said, I like the competition that they're bringing in for everybody. Like Braxton Jones. Hey, man, you're sitting on the sideline. And right now, our boy Ozzy Triplo is taking all your reps and he's not looking too bad. So guess what, dude? You want your spot? You better get back on the field pretty soon. Otherwise, I don't know that you're going to be looking at a contract with the Bears next year, seeing as you're looking at free agency. So that's it. We got some news that our division rivals have lost their best cornerback in Jair Alexander, which Luther Burden came out and said, oh, yeah. Basically, like, you guys just lost your best corner, and now what are you going to do against us?
He was a cap casualty, correct?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, it was he has never stayed healthy. But yes, he had a rather large salary. I think like even with them cutting him, they still owe him like $9 million in dead cap.
wow.
So I mean, it's pretty hefty what they're taking a chunk of to not have him even on the team. They're still going to pay him $9 million not to play. Other than that, you know, there's a little bit of news of, you know, Caleb coming out saying, you know, I wanted to come to the Bears. Don't listen to all the nonsense that was put out there, which, I mean, let's be honest, if you're hearing it from multiple people, there's a little bit of truth behind it. So
although there was a guy who came out with the book, that's why.
Yeah, but
it is what it is. He's already
Yeah.
he's on his second year. Why would people make a big deal out of this?
yeah, he's got, you know, I understand he had a rough year last year, that, you know, nobody would help him watch film. You know, nobody was giving him, you know, the help that he needed. Shane Waldron, you know, Eberflus, etc. But it sounds like that was years of old, and Ben Johnson is not going to be going that route. Things are definitely changing within the clubhouse, which is what we need. So other than that, not a whole lot going on, you know, really newsworthy with the Bears. So those were my just couple points, is that, you know,
Yeah.
we need competition. Competition raises the bar for everyone. You
Yeah,
know,
I
and
can't wait
hopefully-
to training camp tickets are available. I need everybody to open all your laptops and your iPads and your phones and try to get as many tickets as possible, so we can go there as many times as possible, because it's a fun time. If you haven't been,
we need to get
gotta
press
go.
passes there. That's what we need to work on. Press passes.
Well, go for it, JC. Go for it. Work on that.
Well, I was gonna say, I know you tried before, and I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. Or we ever even heard
no
back.
Just
no
keep
response.
using his name. Just keep using Jose. Just keep using his name, and you'll get there.
You just use a company email. It's fine.
Me and Ivan are not having a good time right now, as you could tell.
Yeah, I see that. All right.
But no, it's fine.
We're excited
Is
about
that-
Bear season, but I still want to enjoy the summer. Everyone's like, "Yeah, I can't wait to football season." Yeah, I know. Me too. Me too.
Of
Believe
course
me.
you do.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm
Literally-
still trying to temper expectations. You know, I've gotten fired up the past couple of years, and, you know, like, yeah, like the team's better, and then like we still go like 3-4, like, you know, 4 wins.
Oh no, we suck again.
Yeah, so it's one of those where it's like, yeah, we got Tooney, we got Jonah Jackson, we got Dahlman, we got all these guys, but it's like I still need to calm myself, because it's one of those like new offense, new playbook, new everything, where, you know, they may not get up and running properly till like week 8. You know, there's going to be learning curve, there's going to be hiccups, there's going to be, you know, things that need to be worked out. So, you know, other things are, another piece of news. You know, we were discussing Nick Chubb as a potential backup to Swift. That's not going to happen. Nick Chubb signed today with the Texans.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
the only other name out
And
there
1-2
really
punch.
that I would consider would be J.K. Dobbins. You know, and even with Dobbins, he has such an injury history. I don't know where that would go. So I don't know what Ivan thinks about any of this. He looks very.
He's concentrating on the Cubs there.
This is not looking good. This is not looking good. Oh my God. How do you not just throw it to first?
I don't know.
Bases loaded, bottom of the 11th, 0 outs. This, like, there's no way. I have hope, but like, this seems impossible right now.
Yeah, well, my team can lose today.
Shut up.
Oh my
This
God.
is the shit that me and Ivan talk about when the whole 4-hour ride. It's like, yes, we talk about bullpen. Yes, we talk about this. It's like you're seeing it unfold. And yes, and then they threw up the stupid screen. Oh, bullpen of the Cubs have .98 hitting and this average. Like, you already jinxed us, dude. Don't even throw us the stupid thing. And this Phillies team is poop. It's like they cannot win because they don't have Bryce Harper. And the Pirates swept them, which is also irritating me because like we're better than the Pirates. Put me in, coach, if you want to lose.
You're not going to win every single game. It's okay.
I understand that, but I want the first game and give me the second game and we can lose the third game. I don't care. I want the first 2 wins. That's all I want. I'll sell my first kid if I have to. If we want to talk about Sinners, the movie and Whatcha Watching, I will give my soul for this team.
Looks like someone went to the movies again.
I did not. I watched a lot of TikTok, but I get the premises of it. I believe in Josh Allen. And I would never do that to him. But it doesn't look good. I can see Ivan's face. That's how we looked when we left the stadium on Sunday.
Quiet right back.
Quite upset.
That's not how it was at all.
No, it wasn't. I'm just making a joke. But right now, because he's home.
I was gonna say this. Both of you look like super depressed right now. Like,
no, I'm angry and I'm pissed because I'm watching this, and I'm having more anger to this than the Chicago sky because the sky's falling down.
I feel like
apparently,
playing some of my emo music. Like Ivan might slit his wrist right now. Like that's.
I'm thinking about it.
Let's not.
Oh, that's it. That's done. That's it. Double. Game over. Game over.
All right, you know what I'm watching? Nothing. I'm going to bed.
This is bullshit. Oh my god. He left. He fucking left. Holy fuck. I can't even look at this shit. I can't even look at this shit anymore. No, I'm telling you, this is the shit that me and Ivan were talking about. Like this bullpen sucks. And it's like, we talked about it. It's like the Phillies are a joke.
Yeah, I was
and now you're gonna have them have we could do this, we got a good team, and no, just push them down and smother them. Like, don't give them any life. Own them. You're top dog. Okay, don't give them any life to breathe here.
Speaking of teams that are dying, the Chicago Sky.
Yeah, the sky's falling down on them.
Oh,
the sky is falling on them.
We're really going to talk about this?
Blown.
I honestly
got to cover it, man. Corny Vandersloot suffered a season-ending ACL tear. She is done for the year. She's a stud for that team and a number one scoring option, in my opinion. They recently lost to the Indiana Fever, 79-52, without Caitlin Clark. They got blown out without.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think coaching is an issue? Or is it a player thing?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you because they have a new coach, they have a new GM, they have everything's brand new.
I think it's everything all around, and I think it's also like if you watch the games, like stop passing the ball to Angel Reese. I mean, please.
Well, they've been doing that less. They've been doing it less where she's not the main priority, and then they won the 2 games against Dallas, and then they do this where like, oh, Angel Reese, come on, and she has 4 points and 12 rebounds.
But also, but it shows Caitlin Clark is on the bench, and she's also supporting her team, and probably has some kind of effect in the room when they're calling plays and what they're doing. There's got to be. If she's not playing, she's helping out somehow, in some way. Yeah. I believe
she definitely is.
Yeah, I believe that she's exactly, and I believe she's hyping her teammates up, which you should do, even though you're hurt. But also, like, I feel like she's in the room. She helps everyone else in that team read how she sees things in the room. And it's like when you have the Chicago Sky, you see everyone just pass, take multiple shots. And then there was a thing with Angel Reese. She has a lot of rebounds because it's her own rebound.
Yeah, they are literally called me-bounds.
Rebounds, yeah.
And then she rebounds her own shot.
Right.
There was a rebound of her own tweet where she responded to her own tweet, and someone said, "You just rebounded your tweet."
Like, it's just, and like, I don't like to make fun of this, but
I'm
it's
not
just
trying to make fun of her, but
no. But it's at the same time, it's like you're doing it to yourself, and you're all by yourself, and like acting like you hate us, but we made you because you made us this way. Like, I don't understand any of like,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm just
it's
trying
one
to
of
be a
those
better
where,
fucking player. I really
right?
am.
That's what we all want.
We
Yeah,
don't want a
it's
other losing organization.
yeah, no.
Well, we
I mean,
have
look,
we have
we are
four
Chicago
of them.
fans. We like when Chicago teams do well, but the fact of the matter is, like, you know, they're trying to push Angel Reese to be a superstar, and the talent is just not there. I mean,
There's
you can
two
see
other people.
you
Right
can
now,
see
she's
that the
Patrick
talent's
Williams.
not there.
She's Patrick Williams right now.
I think she's the equivalent of, you know, I think she's a little bit better than Patrick Williams, but I mean, it's one of those where
I know.
I
Patrick can hit the
think
three.
like I said, for me personally, it's the attitude in which like she presents herself that is just one of those where it's like you are focused on way too much stuff off the court and not enough on the court. And it's one of those where it's like, look, if you want to be that off the court, go do that. Like, don't even play basketball. Like, you want to do your podcast, you want to do music, you want to do fashion and whatever, go do that. But like, if you're not going to put the time in, the effort and everything else to be a great basketball player, but you're still going to sit there and tell me that I am better than Caitlin Clark, that you're watching the game because of me too. No. Listen, the only reason why I'm watching this game is to laugh at you because that's how bad you are playing. Like, I literally send you guys the clips where it's like Angel Reese part 38, and it's just her throwing the ball up at the hoop and airballing by 3 feet. And it's one of those where it's like, if you put any of the effort that you put into all the stuff you're doing off the court that you do on the court, maybe I would say, hey, you know what? She's progressing. She's getting better. You know what? Maybe we should watch more because, she is a talent.
I could say this with same thing with like Brittany Grinder. I have issues and qualms, not of her, but the things she says off court, and well, we let out a madman to get you, and then you're gonna make fun of Caitlin Clark and say she's just a white girl. I don't.
I'm not. There should be.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it.
Talent.
But it's about talent.
It's not about race. It's not about talent.
No, but that's what it seems like.
The problem is there is a lot of jealousy in the WNBA right now. Forget race. It is just jealousy, period.
Yeah.
Because the way that Caitlin Clark is playing, it's like she could play with the guys. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
She can dribble, she can pass, she can shoot. And like, it's not like a busted, like when you watch her shoot, like the way she shoots, her form, her, like, Big Z, me and you, we study kinesiology and physiology. The way that she shoots, like, it's not some weird broken, like, shooting.
She maximizes every movement to make that shot. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a perfect shot.
And like I said, you watch Angel Reese. Like, I was watching like one of her warm-ups on Facebook or Instagram today, and her shooting form, it's like, it's weird. Like, she gets the ball, then she brings it to her shoulder like this, and then shoots. Like, but the ball's like way down here, like at her shoulder, and then it's just a weird. Like, I don't know who taught you how to shoot, but it's like you need a trainer to train you how to, because again, you want to be. And look, I'm not a professional, all right, but it's one of those when you see someone, especially because again, me and you, our education is in physical sports and movement. Like, that is what we went to school for, is the study of the body of motion in motion. So all your physics, all your kinesiology, all that stuff, that is what we went to school for. So when I look at someone, and look at how their body moves, it's one of those where it's like, dude, your spatial awareness is off. Like you could just see things in their form, movements, practices that are just not correct.
She literally needs to, and it's funny because when you grow up watching a sport and watching professionals, you'll emulate them. And here's an example. Me playing basketball, Bulls in heyday, I emulated Bull, Michael, and Scotty. Certain things I couldn't do that Michael can do. Like obviously I couldn't dunk at, when I was 14. But I can, go up and around, right? And then I would put some parts of my game where if I'm driving to the basket, I'm not going to be scared of contact. I'm going to go into the contact and then go up with my left hand. And I learned that from watching Scotty. From baseball, I emulate Ken Griffey Jr. on my swing. You emulate the greats. Who is she emulating? Who, you've got to have a basis of this is who I want to be as a kid, and you make that into an adult. Go look at Candace Parker or Cheryl Swoops or any of the greats of the WNBA and be like, all right, who was a good power forward or small forward that had good shooting form and was able to score around the basket? Okay, maybe you don't want to score around the basket. Who had a good mid-range in the WNBA? Go and get in contact with them. How many times did Kobe go see Hakeem Olajuwon or Shaq go see Hakeem Olajuwon or anybody to go see one of the greats? I'm like, hey, how did you do it? Can you show me? I'll spend a day with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the issue. That's the issue that what is not going on. I mean, Kobe would call MJ and talk to him, because
Kobe played exactly like MJ. Yeah.
Right, but he did it. Why? Because he idolized him. He wanted to be like him. His work ethic was just like him, if not better. I want to say, right? Because I would say Kobe. I was like, hey, if I go to the club with you,
I would say better,
and then we're gonna go
because
if I'm gonna go party with you, you're gonna come back and do what I want to do. MJ was like, okay, I'll make you better. I don't trust you, but like you're on my team. I want you to do as much as I do. There's those similar and difference, but at the end of the day, you want to win, and that's what that brings out of the best in people. And if you don't have that, and you're selfish, I know MJ in '85, he wanted to be just himself. He didn't win until he started getting help and figuring out I could trust these people. We could win if I give them the ball and pass it. Like you got to have trust, but I just don't see it with Angel. Like she just wants the ball, tries to shoot, tries to be the man, and it's not working.
And it's not just her. Where's Cardoso? Right. Where's Camila? Where's Camila Cardoso? Where is she at? She has not have a consistent run of scoring either and rebounding. So it literally it's both of them. And maybe like you guys said, maybe it's the coaching. Maybe they either they don't want to be coached, they're not listening to being coached, or maybe the coaching is giving the wrong message and putting the wrong game plan in for the type of talent that's on the court. Again, there's a lot of variables. We don't know what it is. But right now, as it stands, she wants to be the face of the franchise. You're going to get criticized as the face of the franchise. So
we criticize everyone else.
I don't want DMs going up saying, "Oh, you're taking that on her."
No,
you're being sexist. You just no. I'm looking.
We criticize everyone on this team. Everyone who's the face of the franchise.
How many times do I go after Vooch? Every single season, I go after Vooch.
Yeah, and I go after, when it comes to like the coaches or anyone else, even with the Cubs, like some of the players, like, who's pitching. It's like, I love you as a player, but you're not proving yourself to finish the game. It's just, it's frustration.
Like today when they lost.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I haven't left. Okay. So you got one person left here. Okay.
For me, it's gaslighting. Like you're not going to gaslight me and tell me that you're a good player when obviously my eyes tell me you're not.
Yeah, that's sports. We all got cut.
That's the biggest issue I have is you're going to sit there on the media. You're going to sit there on X and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And like, I got to sit there and watch clips of you all day talking to the media, telling me how good you are, that people are coming to the games. Listen, the tickets were selling for $80 a piece. All right. As soon as Caitlin Clark was not able to play, the tickets went down to $3. Okay. So obviously you sit there and say people are coming to the games because of Me Too. That's not true. All right. And the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the ticket sales and the ticket prices.
They came to see Caitlin Clark coach and have jumping up and down on the sideline and flexing. That's what they saw for $3. But I agree with you,
Imagine
Jason.
what the score would have been if she would have played.
Celebrating.
Yeah,
she traveled, and that's the other thing is like, I mean, they call her a baby giraffe. It's like you're on ice skates. What are you doing? Again, I hope things improve for the Sky. It's a Chicago team. I'd much rather cheer for them than sit here and talk trash about them. So here is to hopefully the Sky improving and getting better.
Cheers to that.
I am completely out. Anyways. All right, boys. I think we're gonna cut it. We'll cut it. Oh, there you go. Water.
Yeah,
we'll cut it.
We're not cutting anything, sir. We still have.
What do you got? Oh, I am so sorry. There is something that we definitely were going to talk about and definitely had to talk about, and that is WWE making a horrible decision and having a storyline with R-Truth in the last pay-per-view, and then the next week he gets fired. Not even. No, he wasn't fired. I'm sorry. His contract was not renewed. Yeah, he was not renewed. And the outpour by the WWE universe of bring truth back, we want truth, and them chanting it at the arenas. And guess what? He showed up this past Saturday at the pay-per-view with Money in the Bank and cost John Cena the match by coming at the end and interfering. And now he's going by one of his other aliases as Ron Killings. Is a more serious R-Truth version. So I'm excited to see what they do, but I'm so glad that we were able to speak our passion and it came to fruition. So I'm gonna let JC talk about wrestling because this is what really fascinates me when JC talks wrestling.
I mean, listen, like I've
be right
spoken
back.
about this and I've said multiple. Sorry, Steven is not a wrestling guy. So Steven's out. We've talked about this. I am not the biggest wrestling fan. I am a casual fan. I watch through social media clips and things of that nature. However, R-Truth, I've spoken about this before where I enjoy the comedy aspect of wrestling. I was watching something where we were talking about the Rock and Sock connection, the Gold Dust and Booker T.
Oh my God, that's cold. Yeah.
We're talking about those kind of people where, the Kurt Angle, where it's just comedy gold, with, the little cowboy hat or, he's playing guitar and Stone Cold snatches the guitar and throws, and so it's little things like that where, again, when everybody's trying to be boastful and say, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm the best, professional wrestler since sliced bread. It's nice to have those people that, the Hurricanes, the Spike Dudleys, the ones that
Santino Morales.
Santino, right? Or no, who's the one with the snake? Santino.
Yeah, the Cobra. Yes, Santino Morella.
Santino Morella.
Yeah, he would mispronounce everyone's name on purpose.
He dressed up and went into the women's Royal Rumble as I forget the sister of Santino. I forget her name.
Yeah.
That he was pretending to be. But even like the Beth Phoenix Santino, where it's like you have this powerful woman in Beth Phoenix and then this goofball in Santino, but it makes perfect sense. And the fans love it. So to me, it's one of those where, you had this whole thing set up where R-Truth loves John Cena. He's my hero, right? Then you have a match where John Cena essentially annihilates, R-Truth, just beats him, hits him with a belt, whatever. but then you release him or basically don't renew his so why even put him in that storyline?
The story.
Like it didn't make sense. And it's one of those why like you almost felt like it was a work that, and we all now know because our truth has come out, or Ron Killings has come out and said, no, this was not a work, that I really was like no longer under contract and let go. But to me, it's one of those good on the fans to let it be heard that there is a storyline there, that there is something there that the fans liked. And to me, it's one of those where now this brings into like Cena's going to go after him and like they're going to have like a little feud. And I think it's great because, hey, like you were my hero and you let me down kind of storyline. I think that can really build into something that the WE wasn't. They should have seen it. They should have seen it coming. But I think that they dropped the ball. And then you obviously the rumor is out there that TKO is billions of dollars in losses. And it's one of those where it's like, okay, well, why don't you stop trying to push a storyline with The Rock? And then you find out that, there's rumors of, why The Rock didn't show up at certain events and different things because supposedly that he didn't want to fly his plane somewhere. WWE should have sent me a plane, and trying to big dog somebody into doing something. And to me, it's one of those where it's like, let's stop trying to push that storyline. I understand the bloodline, I understand all of that stuff, but this shows you that there are other talents on the roster that were beloved by the fans that don't necessarily get the push that they should, and hopefully he will get the push now.
He doesn't need anything. He doesn't, he's like the 329 time 24/7 champion. When he had that championship where he has defended 24 hours 7 days a week, that was hilarious.
Little things could lead to him having a world championship match against John Cena. Like he could actually get a push for a championship. I don't think maybe he doesn't win, but I don't know how many more would have to cheat again, right? I don't know how many more pay-per-views there are before WrestleMania, because I know Cena said WrestleMania is going to be his last. Again, I'm not that kind of fan. I don't know everything.
Well, he's already done. So he's done on December 31st. That's his last date.
Okay, so there's still a couple months.
So you've got, as far as big pay-per-views, you got SummerSlam. You've got November. You've got a Survivor Series, and then his last match is going to be in Boston at the end of the year. Again, he's got about 20 dates. He says he's got 21, 22 more dates for the rest of the year. So it's hard to put him in a storyline if he's only doing certain amount of days to be on TV, whether he's wrestling or not. So,
well, like I said, I have a feeling they are going to make this into a storyline, probably for SummerSlam, where it's going to be, R-Truth against his hero. Because I don't see, like, there's got to be a conclusion to this story now that, we had a match. I tried to bring you back from the dark side. You didn't want to, you basically crushed my hopes and dreams as my hero. And now truth has kind of turned to the dark side, maybe, and becomes a little more serious and, not like, hey, I'm a comedy act, I'm going to save you, but rather like, no,
Ron
like,
Killings is, former NWA world champion. Yes. So like, that's the legit wrestler is Ron Killings. R-Truth was the comedic act, the music artist, that's a whole different personality. So we're gonna see something. I know once we get off, and I'm gonna be cutting clips as this gone. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna go jump on Netflix. I'm gonna see what's going on, because if I remember correctly, that's gonna be John Cena and CM Punk in some kind of altercation. We'll see. We'll see. Wrestling is good. It's been great the last couple of years. I don't know what's going on ever since WrestleMania, or maybe like the month before WrestleMania. Everything has been wishy-washy. I don't know. A lot of talent has been released recently. Like you said, TKO is like, oh, we're losing money. Dude, you just got all this Netflix money.
Yeah.
You got a whole bunch of Netflix money, and you put advertisement on the turnbuckles, on the ring, on the LEDs
They have
around the ring,
advertisements on the ladders,
on the tables,
in the Money in
on
the
the
Bank.
ladders and the tables. Yes, Vince McMahon
I mean,
is just rolling in
yeah,
his early grave right now.
it's like, don't get me wrong, advertisements, money, you got to make money. Advertisements, it's like basketball. Like they're selling patches on jerseys now, even in basketball. It's something where you got to make your money where you can. That said,
That's going to be funny. It's going to be on the people's gear now. It's going to look dumb.
But it's one of those where it's like, I also understand, like, the WWE has enough talent to have 3 shows, NXT, SmackDown, Raw, everything else in between. Plus you have the guys like Logan Paul who don't even show up to like live events during the week.
Right.
Stuff like that. They only show up, for WrestleManias and,
TV,
the pay-per-views.
right, for TV.
Listen, Logan Paul, I'm sure, is not doing it for free. I'm sure he is asking for a boatload of money. Which, hey, I give credit, for he's athletic as hell, for a YouTube.
Saw the clips from the last match. Yeah.
He is a very, to me, like, it's one of those for a guy who never wrestled or was a part of that world. He's doing better than some of the guys that, like, dude, your dad was a superstar and you're not performing as well as this guy.
Yeah, definitely.
So
he's just a natural athlete, and he's really good at picking up stuff as far as the wrestling. His mic skills are horrible, but that's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that
takes a long time to learn.
Yeah, some people, it comes easier than others. You can talk trash and put a little bit of truth behind things. But like the Miz, some of those guys where you put truth behind some of the stuff you're saying. But then you sit there and hear the Miz is removing everything of the WWE off of their socials. And
no, he's not. He's not. I checked. He hasn't. And then he made a video post. Essentially, he's been written off because he's gonna be he's gonna be the new host of a new reboot of the American Gladiators. So he's the host.
I'm aware of
that. He's gonna be doing.
So, hey guys,
again, the Miz
I know we're gonna close the show. Tori, who's been on my show for No on the Weekend, me and him get along, but he's a big fan of WWE and wrestling. I don't know much about it. I've been texting him this whole time, and I asked him if he would be interested into talking to you guys about wrestling. And he does a live show when WrestleMania or whatever is going on. So if you guys want to jump on him or invite, I'm going to introduce you guys. But
awesome.
Yeah. People who are nerds that like wrestling and Star Trek.
This show, I'm good. I'm running shows. I'm very booked
so he said he's down to come on and talk about wrestling. He's been to Las Vegas and all that stuff. But yeah, so he's like my type of person that gets drunk and hang out and talk about stuff, and we had great shows. But with wrestling, he will talk your ears off, and he's a big fan. So I thought I'd introduce you guys to him. He's a really nice guy, and funny. And so we could talk about this off the air, but to get more people, because you guys love talking about wrestling, I'm here trying to get him involved and laughing because like how excited he is. So,
hey, dude, when we talk wrestling, our numbers go up. Just let you know.
I don't know how. I really don't, but
everybody's into wrestling but you.
Yeah, I like wrestling with costumes and people, like superhero stuff, not already. What I'm watching is the opera. I'm watching the opera or the novella, pretty much.
It's all good, Steve. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
But I'll connect people because I don't judge. That's what you like, and
Yeah, just like you like reading comic books, and I just don't
yeah, not everyone likes it.
I have comic books. Yeah, I just haven't read them because I don't have the time.
Well, you have the time to watch Raw right now. That's going on apparently because he's telling me
That's important.
he's watching Raw right now. He goes, "It's a wrestling show, not sexy act," and I don't know what he means by that, but but yeah. So he's down to meet you guys, and we could do an introduction. And
Beautiful. I'm excited for it. Definitely.
So I was like, if you want to do a WWE section or just an interview about WWE, you could.
Definitely. If he has a show, I definitely would love to.
True, it's Blue Collar Happy Hour. So yeah,
not him. Oh, okay,
that's Tori. Yeah.
Okay, that's his name. Okay,
Tori.
Definitely would love to talk with Tori. Tori has a great personality.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, boys. Definitely. Let's jump off and we can talk off here. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to our fans for listening, for watching, for supporting. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, to smash it. Definitely give us some stars, some 5 stars. Drop some nice comments on there. Subscribe, share, do all that stuff. That's how the show keeps growing, by having you guys do that for us. Without you guys, we can't do this. So we appreciate any help that we can get. Thank you to our sponsor, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans. And go ahead and check out 606 Media for all your podcast needs. We got 4 podcasts now. I'll be adding another page for the last podcast, the DJV show, which will go live, and then there'll be an edited version of the podcast later on in the week. Again, there's 4 podcasts. You can also check out our merch, whether it's the True Chicago Sports Fan line, for the love of sports, or the No Water on the Weekend line. So definitely check that out. Check us out on social media, TCSF Pod on the Twitter, True Chicago Sports Fans on everything else. You have a comment, a topic you want to talk about, food, movies, shows, want to talk wrestling, True Chicago Sports Fans at gmail.com. Hit me up and I'll get to you as soon as I can. All right, for the boys, JC, Ivan, and Steven, I am Big Z, and we'll see you next time for episode 252. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
Bye.